All right, so let's get some questions going. What keeps you inspired and motivated? That's a heavy question, big one.
Oh, life is a very precious thing, and I think it's something that you have to get up every day and celebrate. And I don't know, it's a gift.
Excellent.
And helping other people, helping things to be better is what I like to do.
That's great. What do you like about the NJCU students? What do you like about the students in NJCU besides their passion for education?
You know what I like is I like their energy. I'm always reminded that they are going to end up being the future of this country. And so I think we're in good hands because they have a lot of energy, and I think they just have a lot of desire to just soak a lot of things up. It's been exciting.
That's great. That's true also. We have our next question. Are there any science courses or subjects that you see will eventually be available to take for a study abroad program?
Oh man, you're singing my song on that one because math is my academic area. Yes. I'm looking to see if we can't do some sciences for in some of the countries. Some countries are better equipped for us to be able to do a science over there than others, and you can easily do, for example, geology in another country because you're there studying the other geology. But if you wanted to go over there and take a chemistry course, we have to make sure they're teaching it. The Chinese, actually, their curriculum's very similar, and the provost just got back from the University of Mexico, which is a very prestigious institution. It's very eager to partner with us. So we're excited about doing something with them. And where's the other one? And like I said, I'm off to India. I did meet with a technology school there once. Computer science is really big there, really big. So anyway, and the idea is just to get the connections, but the provost is well equipped to do this, and he's done it in a lot of places. And the thing I thought when he first got here is he just wanted to bring people here. He is on a big push to get people out, and we already get money from the foundation to send all of our students out. We supplement every student that travels out. The student has to pay some, they get their financial aid, and we pay some. So we're going to be asking the foundation board for more money. I mean, it's going to be a big lift, but they're going to do it. Because I think by the time we grow the programs, they'll have raised the money.
All right, let's get a couple more. Oh, there you go. Let's get a couple more before we get in here. This is a good one here. Would you ever consider coming to participate in our Pilates class? We have classes on Thursdays at 4:25 p.m.
Do you know where I am at 4:25? If we had them at 7 in the morning.
Right.
Or at 5:30.
Yeah.
Maybe if I knew and I didn't, in the summers I could. But it's just hard.
It's tough.
My life is kind of complicated.
Yeah, all right,
So.
but that's not a no.
Yeah, it's not a no. I love Pilates. I love Pilates.
It's not a no. All right, so here's one right here. If you were a rapper, what would your stage name be?
Oh my gosh. I haven't a clue on that one.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one. I have no idea. Because I don't even know how you name yourself.
All right, you know, we're gonna.
Yeah, I'll let you all work on that.
We're gonna
You're gonna work on
We're gonna
that.
make sure you get Dr. Sue Henderson appropriate,
You give me a
legitimate.
name. Legit.
All right.
Let's get another one in here real quick. If you can go back in time, what would you tell the 20-year-old Sue Henderson?
Oh my gosh, what would I tell? What I tell students all the time today is don't be afraid to make a mistake. But when you make a mistake, you got to pick yourself right back up, and you got to figure out what you did wrong, and don't do that thing again because it obviously didn't work. And let's go for something else, and not be afraid. Just don't be afraid. Yeah, and to know that your parents, although I was always afraid I was not pleasing my parents. What they want most for you is to be a very full human being. They really do. So they translate that in kind of strange ways sometimes.
Right. Take some time. This one I think is from a math student right here. I know that you studied mathematics. What was your favorite mathematics course?
Oh, yes, I know that one easily. I can tell you my worst, my favorite.
Yes.
We just hired a topologist, and I told him that topology was my worst branch of mathematics. I love linear algebra and linear algebra and that area. So. Anyway.
Linear algebra.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, we have a math tutor in the building. All right.
Actually, topology is an amazing field, but I'm going to go back and take it.
All right, let's see here. We have a couple more. What will the campus by Harborside expand and offer for students?
So I'm finding out that we're not only going to have business courses there, but they're really thinking about putting some courses there, the gen ed courses, for those business students who want to take the courses there. We are in conversations with NJ Transit, and I have been up and down the food chain there to see if we cannot get a deal. My dream is this: you park your car over there at NJ Transit for a song or nothing, and you can go back and forth as much as you need to, because I need for us to be able to do it the way students in New York can do it, in the schools there. So I'm in conversation with them. We're going to work something out on that one. So I'm feeling good about that. I feel like I need to, for students to feel like it's a close connection. Then once you get there, we're working with the vendors there, and we're trying to redo our food contract, and this was thanks to some concerns the SGO had and some students had in the town hall. Rework our contract so that you're not kind of bifurcated into Vodra and everybody else. And while we're at it, we're going to add in some things down there, so that we would work the vendors there.
No, that's fantastic.
So,
what song or artist or album is it that you go to for working out?
oh man, it's been so long since I worked out to music. Yeah, I work out to the news because that's the time of day I can read, listen, watch the news. So, sorry. There's only so many hours in the day, and I gotta get the news. So.
Right,
But it's
right.
fascinating, I can learn about the news that way.
Excellent. We have two more questions that we'll go through. Please share with us a time that you felt ostracized, and how did you handle it, and who was there to support you?
So my favorite story was when I was at the University of Georgia and taking a topology class. And the professor got up, and he was brilliant man. And I noticed in the class there weren't as many women as guys. I thought, okay, no big deal, it's about most math courses. And it became abundantly obvious after about the first or second class that he just did not like women. Because about after 4 weeks, it was me and Bridget. And Bridget was this white-haired lady, and she sat front, and I sat behind. And he would do things like, so, Bridget, do you think you can possibly understand, tell us about this one? It's the first one in the, he was just so, I thought, I was so mad at him. There's very few people in this world that I'm unhappy about. He's not on my happy list. So I just got mad, and I said, I'm going to do well in this class in spite of it. And I did okay. I didn't do wonderful because I was just so mad most of the time. But that just, and then I just realized I didn't want him to define who I was. So that's his problem. It was what a friend of mine used to say, don't let somebody else put their monkey on your back.
Yeah, that's a great one. I love that. That's a great one. How old are your kids, and what are their professions?
Permanent student. No. So my daughter has a degree in athletic training from Chapel Hill, and then a master's that she got online from University of Southern Mississippi. And she was an athletic trainer for years, worked in colleges and high schools, and then she started working for a firm. What she's doing now, though, is she's teaching in a high school, and she loves it. She's married to a guy who played lacrosse at Chapel Hill, and he was working, and because in 2008 the economy went terrible, he was the first one hired, so he was the first one fired. So he is working now at the Charleston Small Business, Corporation, and he's working on his MBA, which is good. And then my son has a degree in geology and worked for Outward Bound for a number of years, and they had to downsize. So he is working on finishing his BF, his post-bac in art, and then he's going to work on a master's in MBA.
Oh, awesome.
Yes, and I'm writing checks.
Thanks, Mom.
That's okay.
All right, we got two more. What is some good advice that you can give to an immigrant that is trying to juggle work and school without necessarily having the help that they need in the United States?
That's an interesting thing, and one of the things I used to always think about was how hard it is for people who just kind of don't know the system. But one of the things I would encourage you to think about, and it's a little bit sitting in that topology class, is it means you do have to work and you have to stay focused. And the people I have known who were either immigrants who came from very, very humble beginnings and then ended up here, did that because they were very singularly focused. They said, I'm willing to give some things up about my life to make sure that I get these things done. And I think that's just an important thing. You can't, I used to say, when I was raising my kids, I clearly did not win the Mother of the Year award. because I just couldn't do all the cooking and the carpooling and
Right.
because I worked.
Yeah.
So I did what I could, and anyway.
All right, our last two, Dr. Henderson. Do you have plans to reach out to or what are your plans to reach out to our out-of-state students?
So with the out-of-state students, a lot of them live in the residence halls. So the ones that we get, we need to be kind of connecting with them. And this was a suggestion at the STO, is do a thing, like a pizza with the administration or a pizza with the president, and do a time to sit down with the students. The NSE students I've met with simply because I knew how we recruited those students, having had done it before. And those are a group of students that come to us from across the country, and I'm hoping we're going to send some students out because it's a great experience for our students to go out and see other states. In terms of recruiting out-of-state students, most of those out-of-state students, if we get them, will come because they're athletes or because they get recruited into our music program. I know that our music program is very actively recruits, very promising students. I was in Florida 2 weeks ago with our jazz band, and the woman who was was the drummer. I said, "Where'd you come from?" She said, "I came from Indiana." I said, "How did you find us?" She said, "You found me."
Wow.
So it's a faculty that reach out because they want to have they needed a drummer. So.
We found one in Indiana. That's
Yeah.
great. Our last question, Dr. Henderson. If you could have your legacy as NJCU president be defined by something, what would you hope that it would be?
Okay, so two things. I'd really hope that we had really done a good job with the West Campus, but more importantly that, I'd like to know that our students got a great education and finished with a good internship, good study abroad, or good research opportunity, and that they left with a good job and a good feeling about what this place did for them.
Absolutely.
So that is the legacy. You can't buy it.
That's it. So, Dr. Henderson, you survived the gauntlet. Unscathed.
Thank you.
Fantastic job.
You did a great job.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.